catch me if you can.
Damn, moving around a
Close
lot.
enough, close enough, close enough. Thank you. A for effort, A for effort.
Nice. Cool, cool. Okay. Oh, oh, I got a weird ass call. Do you guys get robocalls a lot?
100%, dude. Like 20 hours a day, right? It just
Jesus.
never stop.
Yeah, weird stuff. Damn. Uh, okay. Who do we have here? Let me pull everybody up onto the panel. We are also joined by our very own Sebastian. Sebastian, are you here and can you hear us nicely?
Hi, yes.
Nice, nice.
Good day,
Love
everyone.
to
Thank you for joining.
thank you for being here. It's bound to be yet another interesting conversation. It is officially 3 p.m. UTC on a Friday. We're ending on a good note. Let's intro our speakers. Sponsor, since you already spoke, would you care to kick off today's introductions?
For sure. Good to see you again, man. 2 days a charm. Um, we're Spawnstar. We do fractional sponsorship for the world's largest events, meaning we take large sponsorship blocks in events like NBA All Star Weekend, South by Southwest, and a lot more, New York Fashion Week. And we chop them down into tiny pieces so that small and mid-sized brands can participate in this tier one arena, and we distribute them through a treasure hunt across the physical event, where physical attendees can earn rewards just by checking in into sponsored booths locations. We have a big treasure hunt across the entire city of Austin during South by, where we have pedicabs that have unique QR codes all around town. Where you can take rides, earn points, spend your points in our rewards ecosystem, and we have a token star, and our star holders will be the first to have access to our rewards ecosystem. And we just announced staking. We're going to open up for deposits very shortly, and our early holders will be able to double their positions in 30 days. So if you're not a star holder, you can still become one now.
Nice, nice. Taking care of your community. Love to see it, especially in this economy. Sip and play. I see the old good friend of the show. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, hello man. I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, Paris this side from Sip and Play. So we are building on-chain reputation protocol for Web3 gamers. Our beta is already live. We have our own game ecosystem. We are actually for the community by the community, and we are now live with our games. And now we are distributing rewards every week to the loyal members who play our games, who wins. And on the back end, we are collecting their data, building an on-chain reputation for all of them, so that can be used by anyone on chain. So that's what it.
On-chain reputation. Nice. Nice wording. I like that. And on-chain gaming universe, very future-proofed, especially with AI, That's for sure. We are also joined by a very close project to the Cavos ecosystem, let's say. Timons, how are you doing? Is it shiny today?
All good. Just excited to be here. So to introduce ourselves a little bit, as you pointed out, yes, we are the most closest project to Cavos, which are amongst the people who are there in the space. We are basically the world's largest and one of the first tokenized diamond marketplaces. We are available on Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP networks. And in the most simplest sense, we are a revolutionary Web3 marketplace for tokenized diamonds, just, empowering users to own, trade, and invest in real world diamonds seamlessly.
Indeed, and Cavos is doing something very similar as well. I'll give us Sebastian the chance to introduce himself and the Cavos too. But before we do, I just want to say I see some speakers that are scheduled to speak that are in the listeners list. So please, if you have sent a request to speak, please do it again. Cancel the request, send it again. The spaces are very ruggy, as you know. It's bugged all the time. If you can't send it, because I am approving if you are scheduled. If you can't, please leave the space and join again, and then send it again, because sometimes it works. I am also actively requesting you, inviting you to speak on stage. So if you don't happen to be on stage, there's something wrong with the technology. I apologize. That's unfortunately what we have to deal with weird. There you go. Timon's just disappeared into the listeners. Like, what's going on? Weird stuff. Weird stuff. But we're joined by a squad. How are you doing, sir?
What is good, fam? We're doing good over here, representing the squad, representing Vision. We focus on film, music, and entertainment. We're just here, happy to be here, happy to be on the spaces with you. We appreciate the invite with all these other incredible projects and speakers. So we're just here showing some love, representing the squad, and excited to share what we got going on and be a part of the conversation.
Nice. Let's kick it off with Sebastian. Sebastian, would you care to intro Cavos a little bit, what we're doing, what we're up to right now, and we can jump into the discussion.
Hi, yes. Basically, what we are creating, it's another project that's relying on diamond as hard assets, physical assets, and we are creating a marketplace and an entire ecosystem, as we would like to call it. It's not just a marketplace, but a lot of other different applications that connect to our NFTs, which are backed one on one with diamonds, and our token, which is backed by the total supply of diamonds that we have. So, as Tiamons was saying, a sister project to them, only that we are starting now with a bit different vision, with gamifying the entire ecosystem. Thank you for joining. Let's hop into the questions.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Some cool stuff. I really love that, we have all these projects joining, and there's some people that are doing similar things, and they have different visions. And what I love most about Growthy and our agency is that we connect these people and these visionaries, and something amazing might flourish out of that. But without further ado, tokenizing real world assets. Now, this is a conversation I don't know much about. I have mixed feelings about NFTs being attached to real world assets. I have indeed made an entire master's thesis about NFTs as art collectors markets, NFTs in the art collectors market, and how they are changing the ways of and practices of art collection. Simply because uh, art collectors only care about two things essentially, which is provenance and authentication. So, who created this piece? How can it be proved that it comes from the original source and the original creator? And authentication in terms of who owns it currently. And with NFTs, both of these are achieved. So I thought that was a perfect marriage between technology and art. So that's what I made my entire master's thesis about, and I got an A actually. So, but I have mixed feelings about real world assets being tokenized. So let's shed some light on the subject. Which Let me start with the question: which real world assets really need to be tokenized? Sponsor, right away, I see your hand. Mike is yours.
No, I was just going to comment in your thesis, dude, and say that very early in blockchain, I believe it was 2015. I was running my first company, which was a fine art platform looking to bring more opportunity for real fine artists, not NFTs. And that's how we found blockchain as a tool to solve for authenticity and certification. And EOS actually invested in us very early, and we ran one of the first RWA platforms, and we exactly that's what we were solving for: authenticity, provenance, resale royalties for physical art, to make sure that there was a ledger in place. And right now, I'm actually consulting for a number of projects that are looking to do the same thing for, other kinds of collectibles like purses and and we've built kind of like proposals in the past bull run for companies like Chanel, LVMH, etc. on kind of like how to add that certificate of authenticity part of the physical item on chain. That there's a lot of value there, right? Like that's kind of like where the bulk of the value should be. And if you think of kind of like the secondhand economy in those pieces, collectibles, watches, purses. That's an incredible use for blockchain to certify authenticity from beginning to end, understand the chain of custody, build value. Because like let's say Chanel has a bag that Kim Kardashian bought. Obviously, having Kim on chain as one of the first buyers of that bag is going to build value for that bag, kind of like always along the line. And there are resale marketplaces, they exist. Like the Real Real is huge, right? Like, and there's a huge counterfeit issue on the Real Real because they certify it themselves. It doesn't come from the source. So I feel like any sort of collectible will really benefit from being on chain. I obviously took it to a fashion angle, but if you think of like car ownership, that's a huge one, right? To like actually have the entire report of the car, everything that happened. Did it have an accident? When did it go to service, etc. And it's all fully on chain and fully immutable is a huge one. Carfax kind of like does that a little bit in America, but there's still a lot of stuff in there that we're like, is this really true? And they can kind of like change stuff around in the computer, and so and real estate's a huge one because there's a huge potential for disrupting escrow, which is a super wasteful part of the business. Doesn't really bring anything to anyone, except for the escrow companies, and really jacks up the price of closing a deal. So there's a lot that will come from RWA, and we're just excited here to build it.
There's a lot to unpack, sponsor. Thank you so much for that answer. So there's a lot of things, right? Big brands. Have you worked with LVMH and Chanel and all of those brands? Did you work with them? You
We've
said.
uh we've built things for them,
Or,
but we
mhm.
didn't actually deploy them because it was we started building during the past bull run, and FTX kind of like it
Oof,
got
yeah,
everyone
FTX
out of the
deterred a
market,
lot of brands.
turned a lot of
Yeah.
brands away.
Oof.
But there's still
Oh,
interest. They get it. They get the use
how
case.
did the UI UX work with that? Because I understand, tokenizing RWAs, which are highly valuable. Let's just move the real estate and car dealership conversation aside for a second. Specifically, luxury items like bags of LVMH, let's say. Like, how did they envision the UI UX of that working?
They
If that
didn't.
makes
We
sense.
did. That's the short answer. But in our UI
Okay.
UX, it's always we love abstraction. We've been using zero knowledge proof for authentication and login for a very, very long time. And I feel like that's the way it should be, right? Users don't need to actually create a crypto wallet. All they need is an
Mhm.
email or a phone number, and that should attach to kind of like this passport wallet experience, where they can see all of their items, they can see when they purchased them. And they're all NFTs, right? The certificates of authenticity are all NFTs attached to the physical item. And
But
we
they're
use,
NFTs in a sense that they are on a certain blockchain. Like
yes,
Ethereum would be the
yes.
choice for them.
Ethereum would most likely be the choice, but some of them at the
Mhm.
time really liked Polygon. Polygon was having a
Right.
moment,
Yeah, good
and
times.
yeah, good times for Polygon. Maybe they're having a
But
comeback. We're working
yeah, maybe. Well,
with their. I'm close with the Polygon Fund, and they strongly encouraged us to apply for a grant. And I was like, okay, well, if you guys are still around, we're not going to say no to money, never. So
no,
let's see what
definitely. I
happens.
remember when Utes got a $3 million grant from Polygon to move and bridge into their ecosystem. I don't know what came about it actually, because Frank nowadays is just posting different stuff and it doesn't really look like he's working on a lot of stuff. But I'm really curious about, like, when we're talking about, yeah, user experience would be seamless for those brands, but does that respect the ethos of Web3? Because if the user experience is, email, and they don't need a crypto wallet, how does
They need a crypto
how
wallet.
does that?
That's what abstraction is. You create the
Mhm.
crypto wallet for them. It's still a ledger. It's still, they still have access to their keys. If they know what they're doing, they can still extract their keys and move everything into the wallet of their choice. The only difference is we create the wallet on the back end for them, and Coinbase does this with WAS, for example, right? And it's just literally removing the steps for the user so that they don't have to know that they're on chain. They don't have to have crypto in that wallet, and just
So
create a
it's basically
semi-custodial.
centralized, but you have the option to make it not centralized.
It's
Is that correct?
semi-custodial, meaning it's not fully
Mhm.
centralized, it's not fully decentralized. There's parts of the process that you create for the user for ease of use, and then you hand over his wallet to him.
Okay, interesting. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And you can bake that into a manual and into a really really nice experience. That's actually very very cool. I imagine you can even give them the cold wallet
Yeah.
at that point
So
when they're paying like thousands of dollars for a bag. Why not, right?
So that's the whole point, right? When you try the Star Wallet, and we'll be up, we'll be live shortly. We've already done a live beta now at Art Basel with Don Laundres, which is Trey Lennon and Post Malone's tequila, and we sold out every single location that they dropped rewards in, and they use, that was through our wallet, and all the user had to do was scan a QR code and put in their phone number or their email, and the wallet was created. You'll see it's a super seamless experience, but it's still a Web3 wallet. It's just a Web3 wallet that is built for the regular person that likes to use that has no idea what a MetaMask is and will never know, and that's okay.
Yeah, definitely, and that's fine.
I
Most people. Yeah, go
I
ahead, Seb.
totally agree with Sponstar, because this is the way we embark the next 1 billion into crypto. It's something that started with Ethereum, and the guys realized that to onboard new users into crypto space, it's very hard, because there is a technical high ceiling to get inside. You have to understand about private keys, public keys, mnemonics, where do you keep them, how you keep them, and what happens if you kept them at your home and your home gets in a fire, like happened in LA last couple of weeks. So this is what we are trying to do also with Cavos. We have implemented account abstraction. Basically, you create behind the back, as a sponsor was explaining, the wallet for the user. They get inside, they get to feel how your application is working, and in the process, if it's liking, he's gonna learn what blockchain and Web3 is. If we really want to have the next wave of non-crypto people onboarded, we have to explain them what blockchain is and what are all the good sides of it. And yeah, it sounds a little centralized, but there are solutions there, and also ours will be implemented with social recovery. So basically, we create the master seed behind the back, and after they onboard, they can choose from 3 up to 5 guardians, and with crypto protocol, the Shamir secret, you basically split the secret with which you encrypt the private key. So basically, then it becomes back to centralized. But they have to join the platform. Until then, the private key will reside inside his phone, and when he's activating these guardians, it becomes yet again decentralized.
Yeah, that I really agree with that, because simple start is all we need in the space, and then it becomes, if you explain it correctly, right? That's the issue.
Yeah, I don't know if you read. There is a nice book called Hooked, and they explain their application like Facebook and Twitter, how they become giants and success. Basically, they said take a process, make it work, and then try to remove steps in the process. And when you have the least steps and the least friction for the users, there you will have a good application and a good project. I highly recommend everybody who's building to read that book. It's amazing. So basically, with account abstraction, this is what people are trying: remove steps from the onboarding process, which is highly skilled, highly technical, and sometimes it can be a danger if you are losing your private keys. Basically, not your keys, not your money. But if you are losing the keys, you are losing your money.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm not a decentralization maxi, people having all of their, um, well, let's say, having all of the responsibility. It's on one hand good, but it's a double-edged sword, right? Most people are irresponsible in on things like hiding their keys. Like, for example, I have my MetaMask wallet seed phrase saved as a favorites photo in my iPhone, and I don't care what you tell me, I don't care what you say, like I have to have a safe and whatever. First of all, it doesn't even cost that much, my MetaMask wallet. Second of all, I need to access it somehow. I don't care. Maybe I'll probably download, what is the app, like passwords app or whatever? There's like an app, right, for that. There's probably
I
an
wouldn't.
app.
I wouldn't recommend doing that.
No, I'm not recommending it to anybody, but I'm saying, like, people are, like, if I have my ID and my face and I go to a company and visit them in person, and I say, okay, give me my stuff, they should be able to give me my stuff. I firmly believe that, because most people will do that if, I don't know, like, that's the last resort. I think people have to have this last resort, uh, to a degree. I don't know. Maybe you disagree, but let's welcome another speaker that had some technical issues, but finally we see them on stage. They are also redefining RWAs. So I want to ask them, Emeralds. First of all, you can go ahead and intro yourself, what Emeralds does, and I want to ask you, where do people usually buy high priced luxury items like emeralds, gems, uh, you know, uh, the diamonds? Like, how does this process go in every everyday user, let's say? I believe you have to unmute, sir. Emerald, Emerald, like, I was so happy we got you. Now you're just muted forever. Okay, let's move over to Timons before Emeralds can speak. Hopefully, by the end of the show, they will hear their beautiful voice. Timons, how does the process of acquiring diamonds like for an everyday user happen? How does that happen?
See, so there are different ways. I'll just start with the um, traditional process that usually people, whenever they want to buy diamonds before, they usually used to go to an online retail, to a retail store, to jewelers, or maybe to through auctions, right? So that used to be the first place how people wanted to buy this stuff. But now the times have changed in a way that since the times that crypto has become so much more adopted, these precious metals and investors have already have these kind of trust in these assets of gold, silver, and diamonds, and they just look for something where they don't have to physically deal with this stuff in a way. And it provides, as Spawnstar mentioned, I think in the beginning itself, that it's about security, and it's about uh, maybe about security and the way that you don't have to deal with the physical aspect of things, and more importantly about the instant trading and fractional ownership of these precious metals. So although buying the stuff through the traditional space is fine, but I guess that's where the projects like Diamonds or Cavos and Emerald step in, right? We are bridging that traditional investing to the digital investing. We are acting as the bridges between these two, and basically, I believe that's how it works. I hope you got the answer.
Okay, yes, that is a perfect answer. I was leading with a question towards a specific thing. Emeralds, also feel free to chime in anytime you like, because we can't hear you. You're muted. Feel free to chime in if you can unmute yourself. Yeah, let me ask Sip and Play. Sip and Play. I want to ask you this specific question. Like, if, as Timon said, people are historically people have been going to jewelry shops, like retail stores, and buying diamonds there. Now they're buying diamonds online. So with the RWAs, like, what is the best way? Do you think the best way would be to introduce this new brand as like, oh, Cavos diamonds, go buy your diamonds there? Or should it be more on the partnership side because of the trust aspect, and say, okay, here's your retailer that you always bought the diamonds from. Let me partner with them and offer them this blockchain authentication and kind of be on the back play. Which is a more efficient approach, I guess?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting question you put forward. My take would be, we have to look at the tech part of it. So the people who are buying diamonds, how tech savvy they are. So right now, everyone have a different opinion about blockchain and RWAs. So if I'm a guy who want to, make a diamond a RWA asset, so what I can do is I can rather go with a partnership. Why I'm saying so, because when you go for a partnership, the kind of a model with the existing retail store, you already have a niche there. You already targeting the loyal customers who are already visiting the particular retail stores. Plus, when you do so, when you partner with such like-minded businesses, you have a ease of spreading your business easily in terms of making them understand, helping them understand the benefits of why you are doing so, why there's this transition that is going on. So that will be my take from a not from a business point of view, but also from a customer point of view. Because as a customer, if you're telling me online that I'm going to make this kind of tokenized asset, I'm not going to believe you if I don't know you. And diamonds are not that cheap, for many countries. For them, it's a lifetime investment for many, especially the middle class. And to do that, I would rather go with the known partner whom I trust, whom I like, who's like kind of my next friend next door. So partnering with them will give me more mileage compared to just going solo.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be more. It's obviously it's going to be an easier entry point into the market. Sebastian, do you agree? Do you think? Also, I want to ask you an additional question, if I may. Um, with that, like, who are the people that are buying these? Like, what is the class distribution of the medium average user or average buyer of a diamond? Is it a middle class, or is it generally wealthier people, if that makes sense?
To get started with the first question, I do agree that partnership is the way to go, because basically now the diamond industry and the diamond market, it is what you said, but only between some closed few persons. So if you want to go now and buy a very high valued diamond, you have to know a guy who is inside the diamond industry. You will not be able to buy it from the store because they have to make some money. So you'll buy it like from the fifth hand, and you'll buy it like double the price at least if it's a high value item. So partnership is the only way to go, because what we are doing, Cavos, diamonds, and emeralds, it's we are connecting people to these closed worlds where very few have access, and we are outsourcing for them the best the best prices, but also the security that comes with it. Because traveling around with, let's say, 2 million diamond, it's not something that everybody can do. Only the pressure that you have, knowing that you are carrying a 2 million diamond, it's not for everybody. So we are also offering shipping services for our customers, and I know Tiamon is doing the same. Basically, we are outsourcing the best people in these industries for our customers. So we are not just creating a digital representation of the NFT. We are, let's say, outsourcing the entire process from sourcing the diamond, making sure the diamond first was not from a conflict zone, then that the diamond it's real and authentic, because you can go and buy a diamond, but when they go in the bag to put it in the bag, they change it and put it a fake stone. There are a lot of horror stories, and so it's an entire adventure with us. And
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
go on. I mean, what's the main reason people buy diamonds? Do they buy it as an investment, or do they buy them to, I don't know, like, isn't it like a proposal thing, or am I wrong?
you're not wrong, but that would be the jewelries. And I was joking with potential investors and people who are asking me about the project. Uh, and the first question is, what do I should I speak with you? And I said, look, sit down, and I'm gonna blow your mind. And they said, okay, do it. And said, look, I
And you
know,
shot them in the face.
yeah, I know 3 people from your side that really want a diamond or a Julius diamond, and and you see them close their eyes thinking, and they come with, yeah, that's true. So basically, every woman wants a diamond ring, or I don't know, some jewelry around their neck. It's the most prestigious luxury stones out there. Diamonds are the hardest material in the world. But now, because it's easier to source them, and it's also easier that there is a market also for the middle class, not only the high end value. And if you are asking me, at this moment, diamonds are more seen in the middle class as a jewelry, and for the high worth individual, some of them keep their fortune in diamonds. Why, you may ask? Because they don't have volatile crypto is doing. This is why I wanted to create this project in the first place, to somehow trick the volatility of the crypto. And also, in time, the price is increasing. So basically, it's a secure, safe of storage. Um, yeah,
So oh
that's why.
wow,
That's
that's
why
so
people.
cool. Oh whoa, okay, that's very cool information I just learned just now. Timons. Oh, we lost Sip and Play. Just I hope they'll come back. But um, Timons. Let me ask you. So as I understand, like your businesses, Cavos and you are more B2B rather than B2C, right? You are dealing with retailers who buy your assets, or with big individuals who buy it through like a firm. Is that correct? Is that a correct assumption?
In a way, yes, but at the same time, see, tokenization of not just I'm going to broaden it to not just diamonds, but to all the real world assets, and you can actually purchase and own these real world assets in fragments as well. So at the same time, when we talk about the business and the market of our market basically being just limited to high end individuals, that's pretty much not the case, because some people are there who are buying fragments of this real world asset and they are using it as an investment opportunity on the on our platforms. So that's how morely this thing works. And see, when we're talking about, see, going with the partnership is obviously one aspect of things, but storing and security is also pretty much important. I'm just adding on to the points that Cavos also mentioned earlier, that you could purchase a high-end value diamond, but then if you want to be, just redeem it and you want to be more liquid with your asset, then tokenizing it is the way to go. That's what I would like to say.
Oh, wow. Okay. And wow, interesting. And you said the price goes up. Does it always go up? Sebastian, I think you unmute.
To be honest, if you are looking if you are looking at a small window in our recent times, it went down a little. But if you are looking at the 25-year time frame, then it's going up. And also, I don't know if you guys know, the people who have a lot of money, when they are doing an investment, basically they are looking at a 10-year window. And if you look in the past 10-year window, it's the price going up always for the
Every 10-year
diamonds.
window, every 10
Yeah,
years, price goes up. Oh, wow. Wow.
yeah.
This is interesting.
So
Wow.
it's
Damn. That definitely builds conviction into diamonds, right?
yeah. And
Now I want to be wealthy to buy diamonds.
but yeah, as Diamonds was saying, you don't have to be wealthy. What we are creating now, tokenizing it and then fractionalize it, you'll be
Right.
able to own a part of a diamond. You will be able to purchase with $5,000 a share from a 2 million diamond. And when that diamond is growing in value, because the the ones who are growing in price are the big value items, because they are unique. And when they are discovering, they are not discovering uh, big priced diamonds, let's say. So
Right,
that's where
right,
you
right.
want to keep your money. But
Interesting.
if you wanna make your wife, girlfriend, mother
Wow.
happy, you can buy a $5,000 diamond and make that person happy. But if you wanna look at the investment side, you wanna be in the high value ticket.
Nice, nice, interesting. Wow. Hmm. Let me move over a little bit to Squad. Squad, do you have any? As I know, you also have some fractionalization opportunities, if I'm not mistaken, like some sort of public equity in terms of like very small investors, quote unquote. Is that correct?
I would say yes and no. We pretty much we're big in agreement with everybody what everybody's saying in regards to truly believing in this next round of RWAs and real world assets and tokenization. And what we really kind of focus on is like the film, music, and entertainment side. And so, we look at it from a perspective of giving back to the community in regards to, say, for film. One thing that we have in common with Spawnstar, which we love and admire and appreciate, is South by Southwest. We actually were honored and privileged to win the Best Horror Award in 2022, and so our film was, written by Bill Posley, one of our co-founders, and Tunde Lalea starring. He's our co-founder, but he starred as Bitch Ass. And so what we did essentially is tokenize that movie in regards to created an NFT collection and gave back to the community for like, profits, future profits, gave them behind the scene access. We had movie premieres all over the world. We were on Showtime, Paramount Plus. And so we were flying in, some of our community members whenever we first, started that. And that was a few years ago. And so we used that fractionalization of tokenize those assets and gave it a way where we can give it back to the community. And so for in music, for entertainment, think about, musicians, we are doing a huge, literally this week, it begins this week. A lot of content, streaming, interviews. We've worked with, done over 50 music videos, 9 Grammy award-winning artists, over 7 billion views. And so what we are doing is we have a lot of networking and connections in the industry, but our main focus is the independent artists. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bunch of podcast interviews at recording studios, do a music session, record it live, put it together, a podcast interview, and really help put artists, producers, everybody together, then launch those songs, and work with those musicians and partnerships to help them and give back 100 200% of all distribution, all music to them. We don't get a dime. We're putting it together. We're doing it for them, for the Iconics app. We're launching an app. And so that's a lot, but it's really truly the main belief of tokenization. Utilizing NFTs do have a bad rep, but at the same time we really truly believe that it's a great introduction of the power of blockchain and tokenization, and being able to provide back to the community, and of course like corporations, real estate, and so on. But our main focus is film, music, and entertainment, and that's what we're doing to utilize real world assets, tokenization, and quote unquote NFTs, and giving back to film, music, and entertainment.
Oh man, nice. Like there's so many opportunities being created in the space right now. It's fascinating. How should we that there's another question actually. I really like the that I really love hearing professionals uh like explain how they're redefining the understanding. And as you said, there is a bad reputation going towards NFTs. What is the best way to approach this? Is this still holding, or should we like okay, they're like with high value items? I believe that as I bought an Armani glasses, and those Armani glasses came with a certificate. The certificate had a specific code there, and then I could input the code on the website and get verified that this is an actual real world, like real Armani, let's say. So should it be on the background? Sponsor, I want to ask you. This is a tricky question. How should we best hide or slide of hand? Let's say sleight of hand, as through NFTs. How should we do it? How should we approach this for people not to be not to have the PTSD of FTX, let's say.
So we've been doing this for the past 2 years since the whole FTX debacle. It's you rebrand them, you call them digital collectibles, you call them whatever it is, but you don't say that they're NFTs, and you don't say that it doesn't matter for the user, right? All that matters is like, is it a stamp in your passport? Is it is it a digital collectible? Is it a commemorative? It just come up with something creative. Just don't call them an NFT. That's my 2 cents. Call them anything else
Right.
but an NFT, because they'll immediately
Right. Yeah.
they'll associate NFT with rug pools, board apes, whatever, and they're like, oh, I don't like that. That's gonna be the first thing that you're gonna hear from a brand. So instead, you just tell them, no, this is a tool for us to kind of like have a ledger of everything that your users are doing, and the same thing for the user. It's a way for them to commemorate these moments.
Yeah. Indeed. And and how yeah, that's really interesting. How specifically where when we're talking about like online communities, like Reddit, for example, how they redefined it. I think Reddit was the first one to call it digital collectibles instead of uh, NFTs. I think that was the first major one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Um, okay, how do we build conviction through not through, but rather how do we create conviction into professionals to join the Web3 and actually like work with us? You know what I mean? Like work alongside Web3 and not think that it's totally a scam. How do we entice people to join us? diamonds. Any ideas?
Right. So, what I personally believe is that maybe building conviction could be done through regulation in a way that if you see these people who are investing in real world assets, they have been doing it for a long time and they believe in a certain processes and certain rules and regulations. So if we could introduce that regulation, if you could just have that regulation thing for us as well. So like for our project, we have LCX as a physical validator for our diamonds. So, and they are a regulated exchange that are operating in Europe. So that's how we basically try to convince people that yes, this is not a rug pull or a scam that you guys are looking at. This is not gonna be, it's not that kind of a project. So I believe regulation is a way to go, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. Speaking of regulation, Sebastian, I want to ask you, like, in terms of MICA, how does this flesh out into real world businesses and Web3 like let's say Web3 corporations or corporatization? How does this flesh out, and do we need anything more? Because MICA was in place. MICA went into effect. MICA is the I don't remember how the abbreviation is says, but like it's a Europe EU securities
Markets in crypto asset
markets
regulation.
and crypto assets regulation. Yeah. So how does that, like, do we need anything else, or is it sufficient so far?
I believe it's the right step into the right direction. The MICA, at this moment, it's fine that we have something, because look, we are already 50 minutes in already, and 3, if not 4 of our speakers mentioned FTX collapse. We cannot have something like that before. You cannot convince people to come and join the Web3 space if you don't have regulation. You cannot convince them that it's something better for them. They are just thinking, why should I ruin my reputation that I have joined a crypto blockchain? So Micah, it's good. It's something that was needed. I don't know. I'm not really an expert in regulations myself. From what we have studied for the company to make our business work legally and in good terms with the MICA regulation, it's fine for us. It works, and if you are really a project that you want to show transparency, you really need to oblige by these rules. So for me, regulation is something that needs to happen, and because people cannot trust you. Yeah, we outsource the verification, the storage of the diamonds, but if you are a company that is running businesses for high value items, people have to sleep well at night. When they put their head on the pillow, they have to sleep well and not have just the smidge uh, um, doubt that something is happening. So yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And we need regulations, like, not regulations, but accountability. Somebody told me in a spaces before, like this week, that the statistic is every day, at least 10 projects rug pull, at least 10. And with pump.fun, that's way more, probably.
Yeah, exactly what I wanted to say. Sorry to step in over you there. Yeah, the issue, if you are going into pump fun, I'm doing a side project, something about the meme coins, and they are launching like every second a new meme coin, and out of that 90% of them are rug pulls. Basically they are just honeypots for dummies to gain in and spend their money. You see every day like 10 10 to 15 tram coins, 10 to 15 DeepSeek coins I have seen these days, past days. So it's basically a wild, wild west there. And yeah, it's something frightening.
It's
This
really
is why
crazy.
past spaces session here on X that I had with you, somebody said RWAs are the Trojan horse for the regular people to step inside. Why? Because they know they have this real world asset behind whatever we are selling. Even if our let's say project as a business it's failing, at the end of the day our customers, TR Diamond's customers, will have the diamond in a storage and they will be able to go claim that ownership and then sell it for money. What happened with the NFT marketplace and NFT bubble? It's like people started selling selling art, and then they did nothing with the money. But here you have this peace of mind. So that's why in a way we are trying to as I want to say, optimize the NFT space. We have a proposition for the crypto industry, yeah, who wants to implement it. Basically you can create NFT arts on top of our assets. So let's say me or Tia Diamonds have a diamond which is worth uh, 1 million, and you create your entire NFT collection on top of that. At the end of the day, you have a share from a diamond and you know that you can collect some money back. So there you will be able to sell these digital collectibles, as sponsor was saying, to others, and they know it's something that it's legit behind.
Yeah, indeed. And what one thing that's really interesting that I just realized with RWAs, you also have the accountability factor baked in when you have a regulatory body governing the accountability for the creators. For example, if you are, as you know, as we know, Sebastian is from Romania, and Romania is part of the European Union. So if you decide to rug, you will be accountable. That's the good thing, right? And it doesn't matter. Well,
Exactly.
it does matter that then it's the RWAs. You have real world assets, and that creates this sense of security. Because with interestingly enough, I want to ask Squad, interestingly enough, even though, well, maybe because of US being so decentralized, but Trump is more championing into the ETF factor and into more regulatory bodies. Do you think that will be, as far as I understand, Europe is kind of like leading the way in terms of like account making sure that things like pump.fund rug pulls don't happen within businesses that are in the EU. Is it something similar? Are we going to see that in US? How do you think?
I absolutely do. And I do believe that regulation is coming. That's what we are pretty much all waiting for. And I do believe from Europe's standpoint, they have like the MICA that's in store coming into play, which is going to be extremely important in the United States in regards to like Trump and his advocacy for the crypto market. If you think about BlackRock and Grayscale and how they're pushing the ETFs, which you just brought up in regards to the major projects. Those are pretty much like the safe plays, and they're telling you what they're doing. They're telling you about they're going on all of these major platforms and major talk shows or whatnot, like, and just talking about pretty much like, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. We're tokenizing these assets. We are pushing real world assets. We are you know, advocating for ETFs, and they're telling you what they're doing in their annual reports on their websites or whatnot. So with Trump and the regulatory is coming incoming, I think it's going to be huge. And I definitely think all of the, from a United States perspective, all of the United States companies are going to really thrive. And us as builders, as independent builders, we're laying the foundation to bridge that gap from that Web 2, Web 3 space. So we're over here trying to do what we can from, an independent perspective, but whenever we look from, inside out, looking at those billion-dollar companies, we appreciate, admire, respect, and root for them because they're the ones who are going to lead the way. And, that's something that we look forward to in the United States.
Definitely. Wow, that's coincident, not coincidentally, but consequently, I believe that the more trust, it builds more trust. Like one thing is feeding the other, and vice versa. And then the way that it's going to feed more trust, it's going to attract more professionals in the space, because there is a huge uh, hole or void that needs to be filled with people that are extremely professional, that know how to build products out of technology. And we need those people. Those people are still deterred by FTX. They're deterred by Pump.Fun, which got sued over $280 or something recently, because somebody lost $280 and they sued Pump.Fun. But weird stuff. One thing that doesn't help, and I wanna hear Spawnstar's opinion about this. Spawnstar, what do you think? Like, Trump launching his own coin, does that disrupt the quote unquote healthy mindset, or not quote unquote actual healthy mindset that needs to be, in the space when we're talking about building businesses that take a long time, professionalism, and it's not just like quick pump and dump where you get to make $50,000 within a minute or even more? Does that affect the space behavior, negatively or positively? What do you think?
100%. It's terrible. It's not bad. It's terrible. It's literally I'm very vocal about my opinion on meme coins.
Why did he do that, do you think?
Because he made $500 million.
He doesn't give a
Simple. And then he
crap.
renounced all his assets. It's just like it's
Oh my
shady
God. And people
AF.
were like, sorry to interrupt, but people were like, oh my God, Trump rugged us. Like, who expected him to not rug? Honestly, like, who
Exactly.
expected
Like
him
I
to
saw
build
I
a
saw the
business?
chart going up, and like, some of my junior devs were like, buy it, buy the Trump coin, buy the Trump coin. And to be very honest, I got in very early, so I bought a tiny bit, but 20 minutes later, I doubled my bag and I sold because I was like, this shit is going to dump like there's no tomorrow. And I even felt bad for like the 20 minutes that I was holding it. I was like, I don't feel like this is aligned with me as a person to be holding this meme
Ah.
coin that I know has absolutely no value. Anyway, it's terrible, and I feel like Melania then kind of like pulled all the liquidity out of the market. We saw all the alts getting killed after that because people were like literally selling their alts to kind of like get in on that crap. And we saw it with our token. Our token just recovered from the Trump kind of like pull of liquidity
I think alts are
today.
still suffering, don't you
Still
think? Like, I
suffering,
have
still
my
suffering.
bags are dying.
Yeah, well, what Eternity told me, they're our chain partner, and they're a pretty big token. They're on Coinbase, Binance, pretty much everywhere. Is don't even look at your alt bags during Feb. Feb is known as kind of like a crappy year, for alts during the bull run. March, spring, that's where we come in.
Yeah, somewhere in
Yeah,
April, May, it's
yeah,
like
so
where,
like
yeah.
just keep buying. That's what I've been doing. Buy
Yeah, yeah,
things
that's
that
the.
you believe in the long run. Buy things
What
that
do
you would
you
want
have
to hold
conviction?
through the cycles,
Like, what do you want to what do you want to hold up to two,
Star.
3 months, let's say?
Star. I'll hold Star for
No,
for
no.
3 years. No, but
Yeah,
Ethereum, I
yeah,
love
that's for sure.
Ethereum. I feel like Ethereum is the
Oh, you
long
mean,
term
the
infrastructure
OGs,
play.
huh?
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
majors.
Yeah, we're built
Interesting. I was thinking
on
more on the AI side, like AI tokens and stuff, like
That's a
some.
harder one. And I'll tell you what, like you
Mhm.
guys were talking about the amount of shadiness, right? So a friend of mine
Mhm.
launched a token for Vine. He's a very old school tech guy. He was one of the founders of Vine and HQ Trivia,
Ooh.
etc. And He was telling me that he lost access to his Twitter account because they keep trying to hack his Twitter account over and over again to post a fake freaking contract on Pump Fun and to, to send people there. And it's happening to a lot of projects that are, that are really poppy right now. So the problems are serious. Like the problems are very serious. And
They
so
are.
Twitter like removed his access from his own account to protect him. It's crazy times. It's crazy times.
It is crazy times. I genuinely hope that will make it one day, and it's not going to be such a terrible, terrible behavior. One thing's for sure: Trump banking on his presidency 2 days before being sworn into office is the most American thing I've ever seen. That's like American capitalism in a nutshell. Bro just made $500 million and just went out. That was amazing. But anyway, I'm not even sure how that's legal. But that is it for our show. We are on the hour. I want to thank all the speakers that came up on stage and contributed to this discussion. It was very, very sophisticated, and I definitely have some more alignment in my thoughts regarding RWAs. And we'll be back 3 p.m. UTC on Friday to wrap things up like this nicely and tidy. I want to encourage all the listeners, please make sure to follow all the speakers that are on stage. These people are awesome. You heard them speak. Check them out. Give them some love. Builders like them deserve actual support because they're not just quick pump and dumps. People like these are builders like these are supporting their communities. And check out Cavos. I want to move over to Sebastian. Anything you want to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'm gonna end in style. Trump did not pull an American capitalism. He just did a Russian mob style rug pull. It's something. It's something that should have not happened. It took us like 10 years back, the entire crypto industry. Believe me, you will see it only in like 2-3 years what happened with what he did. Other than that, yeah, we are trying on the other side to build projects that are offering people the credibility, accountability, security, and who knows, maybe people will like what we are doing, and for sure our assets are more safe than some meme coins. Thank you everybody for joining. Hope to hear you, see you next week.
Indeed. Thanks for everybody. Thank you everybody for joining. We'll see you next week, 3 p.m. UTC on a Friday to wrap up the week. Until then, enjoy your week and enjoy your weekend, rather.